Oh, hello. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Come in off the dark streets. How are you doing? Welcome to the Laughing Lampwick. My name is James Bartholemew Lampwick, your host. Sounds like a storm outside. Pull up a chair, order yourself a warm drink, tea, coffee, whatever you'd like, and get out of the dark into this small little haven, my little cafe. I'm glad you're here. We have an interesting night ahead of us. Now, you may be wondering, who am I and how did my little cafe just appear this fine but stormy evening? Well, the Laughing Lampwick is somewhat of a haven for those walking in darkness. It's a lamp to banish the dark and give hope and warmth, as well as spreading the light of knowledge and fine hot beverages. Since the lamp is not needed in the light of day, the cafe, of course, closes at dawn, but will always reappear when darkness encroaches again. So pull up a chair, sit back, and we can have some conversation. I'm not going to play the character the whole time, but welcome. Thank you for coming into the stream. Who am I? I am, as I said, Dr. James Bartholemew Lampwick. I am a researcher of the strange and uncanny. I am a writer and author of many different things, but mostly fantasy. And I am also a connoisseur of fine coffee and teas. Am I human? Well, who's to say? Are you human? You've come in off the dark street, wet from the rain and the storm outside. Do you feel human? I'm sorry. I don't mean to philosophize at you. You're here to relax, and I want to give that to you. So, get yourself a nice hot beverage, as I said. Whatever you prefer. Tea, coffee, hot chocolate. Whatever it is. We're all friends here. Now, I'll keep the introduction short. I don't want to bore you fine people. I am going to be streaming under this number. I have streamed before in the past, but I've somewhat rebranded as you can see. I'm so sorry, I got a text. Ignore that. Immersion break so early. Nah, I immersion broke myself. Well, let's get to know each other a little bit. As I said, I am a writer. That part is very much true to life. I mainly write and read fantasy, and have somewhat of a proclivity towards it. Though I've somewhat recently broken into some new genres. For the stream itself, I have a lot of different ideas that I'm going to go for. This is really just for fun. I'm not really going to be doing too much. Give me a sec. I just realized that I'm missing something. There it is. See if we can get that to play. It's not coming through. Hold on. Sorry. I meant to have a fireplace sound to... That's better, I think. I'm gonna turn that down though. We want it in the background. That's better. All right. So I'm going to be trying to somewhat incorporate my writing and other things into the streams themselves, but I haven't quite decided what that's going to look like. Like tonight, my plan is to go through some choose your own adventure games, and I've thought about, of course, making my own, which I think would be really fun. And I'd like that to be more interactive in the future, but at the moment that's not plausible. I like to make maps. I play a lot of tabletop RPGs. Well, I say a lot. I play frequently, but I've only ever played Dungeons & Dragons and Monster of the Week. But I love both, and I'd love to do some content relating to that, as well as just making maps. I'd also like to do, and once again, this is all potential. I don't know how much or how little of it will actually go through to actual stream ideas, but I'd like to do little deep dives, doing research into interesting things, especially things like cryptids and monsters and things like that. I love that stuff so much. And I will be doing gaming as well. I'm not looking at doing any like particular style of games. I will definitely be doing From Software games like Dark Souls and things like that. I love all the Souls games. And I'll be going, I'll be playing through some of those perhaps soon. I had started streaming Elden Ring a while back, but didn't get very far, so I would like to restart that and actually finish it. So yeah. And eventually I would like to feature some other people on my stream, friends of mine and my wife, whom I love very much. But that's just the basic ideas. By way of a very short introduction, I won't belabor the point. What I will do is I'm going to queue up the choose your own adventure games that I would like to play tonight, as the description says. And I'm going to be narrating those, as well as trying to do sound effects and things like that to dramatize them a little bit. I'm going to be using a website called Tabletop Audio, created by a man named Tim. It is stuff I use in my D&D games, and it is fantastic and incredible, and you should check it out if you do anything like that or just like to listen to ambient music. He also has a sound pad that I will be using to hopefully accentuate some of the stories that we're going to see. So I'm going to start with a story called Gunslinger, And I will, give me a second. I'm going to switch over. Hello. Here I am. And let me make sure that I'm not going to be showing off anything I don't want to. Boom. Okay. So this is on a website called chooseyourstory.com. I've never used this before, but I looked into it a little bit. Hopefully it will be fun. Actually, give me one moment. Oh. Hello. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome. We're about to do a Choose Your Own Adventure game. But first I'm going to check on something real quick. Sorry. Gonna hide that for a sec. I need to find some good good ambiance real fast. That's very ominous. Very ominous indeed. I don't know if that's the tone for this, but I haven't actually looked at it, so we'll see. I'm going to do this instead. Okay. Okay. Is that playing? Yes, it is. Sorry, I'm switching between like 4 or 5 tabs. Okay. Here we go. Goodness gracious. Okay. Play. Oh, here we go. Nice. Right. I have to move my chair back to even see this properly. Oh, actually, I could just move my mic back. I hope you guys can see that. Okay. Any last words? You can't tell who spoke, but you have a pretty good idea. Before they placed the hood over your head, 2 men approached the prison cell. Neither of them were dressed well. Dirt-covered overcoats hung to their knees, just touching the tips of their muddy boots. Unshaved, unwashed, they carry the toys of children at their hip, not the iron of a gunslinger. That's what lawmen in these parts go for these days. Shame. They locked you up tight, hands bound behind your back with cuffs, the kind with magical symbols inscribed in the steel. Okay, we got a bit of fantasy here. An object was tied at your lower face, like that of a muzzle. According to them, it hampered any words of power that could escape your lips. Any words, really. Not that you're the talking type. Oh, I am the talking type, though. You served as the sole prisoner. No other inmates to keep you company. Face muzzled, hands shackled, alone. The same as before your arrest. Just before your vision turned into canvas blackness, one of the lawmen, the one with the constant smack of chew in his lip. Is that supposed to be... Yeah, okay. With the constant smack of chew in his lip, spoke, gracing the floor with a wad of spit. Got an empty grave and an unmarked tombstone for you, son. Better hurry, for it claims somewhere else. It be claimed somewhere else, my bad. And just like that, they took you from your cell. The rest is a blur. Not a visual one, of course, but a mix of sounds, smells, and oddly enough, wind chimes. Those damn wind chimes. Constant in the background, their song floating on the very wind that powers their notes. It's not a beautiful song, but it's a song nonetheless. I don't think I have wind chimes. No, I don't have wind chimes. I got wind. I got a bell. We'll go with that. Cool. Any last words? The question echoes in your mind. They pause for a moment, allowing you a few seconds to speak your last to make peace. Whether a cruel joke or simple negligence, they left you muzzled. You couldn't spill words if your life depended on it. That's fine. You're not one for talking. Again. All right then. May God have mercy on your soul. You hear a small chuckle after the statement. They take pleasure in your execution. Last words, God, death. You breathe in a full breath of dirty canvas. Your chest fills with the inhale. You'll treat it as any other encounter, only this time the 6-shooter isn't in your palm. Deep breath, slow release. Calm the nerves, release the tension. Death is here. Death. It doesn't come. Chaos ensues around you. Hoof stomps, screams. Hold on. I got this. Well, that's not what I was hoping for there. Okay, it's something. It's something. Ahem. Ahem. Horse hoof stomps, screams, agonized cries in the air, deep and throaty, primal, like that of a boar caught in a snare. You feel as if the very sun itself is growing hotter. Flames crackle nearby. Curses accompany the screams. Quick bursts of expletives before their voices are eternally silenced. Sorry, I was looking to see if I had any sounds for that. I don't. Through all this, you stand at the gallows, death already accepted. There is no action to take other than to wait for it to come. Still, it keeps you waiting. As the hood is pulled from your head and blinding light flashed into your eyes, you know it'll keep you waiting just a little longer. It moves further down the path. Sorry, I lost my place. It moves further down the path, ready to jump in should you make the wrong decision. It's not pressed for time. You, on the other hand, do not have such luxury. All right. Let's see. Here. This is the one. This is the one we need. Okay, that's got to load. But anyway, I'll keep reading. What greets you is not the Reaper, ready to take your soul back to the abyss. Instead, your savior is a native, a young one at that. His tan skin is covered in white battle paint, dyed red with recent events. The lobes of his ears wear thick rings, matching a similar one at the base of each nostril. He stands a full head taller than you, as is the case for most men when standing next to a member from the indigenous population. The initial reports of the Frontiers expeditions left out that important detail regarding the natives. A pair of native eyes meets yours. Perhaps he came to finish the job the lawmen failed to accomplish. Destiny, fate, perhaps yours is to die today. Where one falls short, the other picks up the task. Your maker has deemed that this is where your journey ends. It's been a long time coming. Finally, rest. The native swings his axe overhead with a single arm, the black canvas hood of the hangman in his other. You do not shut your eyes. You've managed to survive a little longer, and recently learned that you prefer to watch death coming. The unseen brings exaggeration. Events built up in the mind. Now that you watch it unfold, it's not so bad. A young native, a swing of the axe, that's it. No need to imagine it as something that it's not. The native's axe tears through the hangman's rope. You're free. Free in a manner of speaking. Your hands are still bound and the muzzle still rests at your mouth. Still though, you aren't tied to the gallows, yet the noose hangs around your neck. You do your best to speak through the muzzle. Fine craftsmanship it must be. You accompany the murmur with a gesture of your head towards your bound hands. Recognition lights up the native's eyes. It strikes you that even without the muzzle, he might not understand your words. Just before you can cut the bonds at your hands, another native shouts, drawing your savior's attention away. With a shrug, an expression that apparently transcends cultures, the native leaves you alone on the gallows, noose around your neck and hands bound by rope. And I got 3 options here. The town, natives, cut your bonds. I wonder if I can zoom in. There's got to be a command for that. I don't know what it is, and I'm scared to mess around with it. Oh, I figured it out. Is that easier to see? Okay. We're gonna go with 150 so you guys can see better. I'm still doing the accent. That's my bad. I think I want to cut my bonds. Can't do much in the town if hands are bound. Cut your bonds. Yo, that's a block of text. Let's go. The native gone, you're on your own. Your executioners have their hands full with the raiding party, and you're sure to act before they find their hands empty again. Excuse me, I hiccuped. My bad. Flames rise up all around you. Oh, thank you for that comment. Sending your vision into a constant reddish-orange tint. The street stretches out in front of you. It appears to connect with 3 others in the center of Redshire, creating an X. Interesting. You never got to see the town before ending up muzzled and locked up. So we are in the town of Redshire, apparently. In front of you, dozens of bodies pile up. Oh no. Humans used as tinder for the flames. Their bodies are blackened from the fire, shriveled up like raisins in the sun. That is horrible. Give me a sec. Do I got fire? Why don't I have I have campfire. This is what burned all those people. That's all. Sorry, I like to play around with my soundboard. Anyway. In front of you, dozens of bodies pile up, humans used as tinder for the flames. Their bodies are blackened from the fire, shriveled up like raisins in the sun. They came to witness your death, yet they are the ones sent to the afterlife. God has seen fit to preserve your life rather than the townspeople of Redshire, although you know you're least deserving. Such is the fairness of life and the influence of the divine. I don't know what the heck that means. You spot a sizable shard of glass lying in the street, a result of a shop window blown to pieces. You trot over, being sure to avoid any of the natives who have taken over this section of Redshire. Not all of them may agree with their young member's decision to save your life. Using the glass shard as a dagger, you cut the bonds at your wrists. From there, it's a quick trip to the leather straps tied behind your head like it were an old pair of boots after a long day's work. You untie the straps. I read that as a run-on sentence, allowing the muzzle-like cage to fall from your face. As the cage falls, you briefly catch sight of your reflection in the glass shard. Hair's long now, black tips touching your shoulders. Ah, we have black hair. Face could use a good shave. Scruff in between stages where it could be considered a beard to some. Dark brown eyes stare back in the reflection. Movement. It flashes quickly in the shard. Instinct takes over. Your makeshift mirror becomes a makeshift dagger. You don't see your target until after the deed is complete. You turn to find one of the Redshire townspeople. Shopkeeper by the looks of him. Standing with both hands clutching his throat, the glass shard thrust a couple of inches deep. Blood flows in tiny spurts near the wound, and you know you could turn it into a waterfall if you pulled the shard out completely. I don't remember the age range of this one, but it's obviously PG-13 at least. Sorry, friend, you find yourself uttering. It does feel nice to use your voice after so long, like stretching after a stiff night's sleep. It's either you or me. Your eyes find the hatchet resting peacefully at the shopkeeper's clean boots. Looks like you had the same idea in mind. The man collapses to the dirt, staining the street with blood and sweat. No matter. Redshire this time tomorrow will likely be a pile of ashes. Shots fire down the street. The sheriff must have rallied his deputies for a counterattack. Their shots sound like small pea shooters, absent of the vibrant ring of real iron. Instantly, you know they will fail in their attempt. The 2 men that guided you earlier, the deputies, your executioners, bear no desirable traits for combat. Not real combat, anyway. They're the type who prey on the weak, take advantage of drunk women. They dominate those with less strength. When faced with someone equally strong, however, you'd bet the house on their defeat. Struggle forms a man, fosters a stalwart resolve. Stepping on those already beneath your boot doesn't make the leg any stronger. It's pretty well written, I have to say. I also need a drink of water. This is a lot of reading. So I specifically tried to choose those that were listed as like short on this this website, because there's ones that are listed as like really long. If this is a short one, I don't know what the long ones are. Anyway, the revolvers continue firing. Oh, hold on, I got something for that. Give me a sec. Yeah. There we go. The revolvers continue firing. They are less frequent now, the result of one, perhaps two, falling to the native raiding party. But still, they continue. Gunfire may seem like it'd bring the advantage, but the lawmen of Redshire have anything but. They are in a corner, backs to the wall, a superior number of enemies approaching. You judge they aren't the types to stagger their reloads either. It's only a matter of time. 2 minutes tops, if you had to guess. Making use of your ability to speak once again, you whisper words of power underneath your breath. Hey, we're magical. Where am I? If there's one thing the lawmen of Redshire did right, it was to constrict your voice. That deed alone extended their lives by many days. Either by your hand or the natives, their journey always ended here, with your bonds cut and their revolver chamber empty. Okay. There we go. Chamber empty. A woman's voice, strained and wavering, softly speaks through the open shop window. Through the jagged remnants of glass, you find her, sitting atop the sitting on the shop floor with her knees curled into her chest. Her face shows signs of tears and sweat. Her hair holds several strands falling from its... Her hair holds several strands. It's hard to do multiple S's in a row. Falling from its up position. If not for the current situation, she'd be a looker. The same could be said for you, the man who'd ended her husband's life with a shard of glass from his own window. Brutal.
Help me, outlaw. My son. I can't find Titus.
She must be desperate if she's asking her husband's killer. She stares at you, eyes glossy from welling tears. In another life, perhaps. In this one, she's on her own. Your words of power take hold, and the sound of hoof stomps can be heard once again. Hold on, I got something for that. There we go. Yeah! It arrives as a black blur, a storm cloud racing across the sky. You never bother naming it. As the dust settles, 4 legs stand proudly and heavily muscled. That was it coming to a stop in front of me, just in case you didn't understand. Its tail flips back and forth absent-mindedly, seemingly anxious to return back to a gallop. You take the opportunity to remove the shopkeeper's wide-brimmed hat. I stole a dead man's hat. Perfect fit. You adjust the brim low, covering the top half of your face to shield your eyes from the sun and dust. Sorry, miss, you say, realizing that for the second time on your day of supposed execution, you're apologizing to the crowd who would watch you hang. That's a task for a lawman. Down the street, the sound of gunfire cuts off. Both you and the woman know that there are no longer any lawmen in Redshire. That was them dying. If I see any, I'll put in the word. With a polite lower of her husband's wide-brimmed hat, you leave her alone on the floor, her husband bleeding on the street, her son lost in the chaos. You swing a leg over the Mustang, both boots finding the stirrup immediately, hands doing the same with the reins. "Yah!" you shout, commanding the Mustang into a gallop. Another dust cloud picks up. You leave the town of Redshire behind you, burning, soon to be a pile of ashes, its lawmen put down by the native raiding party. You ride off into the nearby plains, never looking back. Gunslinger. Beware the one who carries iron on their hip. Beware the one whose hand holds steady. Beware the one who deals in lead. Beware the gunslinger. Begin story. Was that, hold on. Was that the whole story? Or was that just the prologue? Holy crap. Was that just the prologue? I'm gonna die reading this story. Also, I stole a dead man's hat. That doesn't seem very gentlemanly of me. I hope the accent's okay. I can't help it. I literally can't. I have to do it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh Lord. Okay. Let me get another drink of water for this. I wanted to do 2 of these. I don't think that's gonna happen. But maybe. We'll see how I feel. I may need to get a hot drink of my own to clear Dr. Lampwick's throat. To reset a little bit if I'm going to do another one. But for now, we'll switch back to the other persona for Gunslinger. And hold on. Let me... This Gunslinger is by, let's see. Who is it by? Does it say? It's by Ninja Pitka on chooseyourstory.com. If you like this, check them out. Check this website out. It's pretty cool. Play length says 5 of 8. I am sorry because I did not read that. Anyway, we're into it. Let's go. I'm gonna have to take off my jacket. It's getting hot in here. Hold on. I do understand that my head is in fact a lit flame, but you have to understand. Heat still affects me. Okay. Is the audio okay? I'm kind of like leaning into the mic as if I'm some kind of fancy voice actor, which I am fully aware I am not. Am I too loud? Do I need to turn anything down? I haven't really checked. I just kind of jumped right into it. Everything okay? Background music, which I may change at some point. Any comments on volume? Do I need to change anything? Yes, no, maybe so. Audio is good, a little on the quiet side. Okay. My mic or like the other stuff? Because I can turn myself up, or I can just move the mic closer to my face. Either way, this is the mic closer to my face. Is that good? Is that chill? Excuse me. It's a lot of reading. I'm gonna lose my voice. That's okay though. Whatever I can do to bring some comfort to the dark night, I will do. Okay, I'll bump my mic up a little bit then. I don't want to bump it up too much because then I'll peak. Okay, we're gonna go forward with that. If it needs more adjusting, just let me know. Without further ado, Gunslinger. The frontier holds much danger. Its wildlife and indigenous population will try to end you at every turn. But also, there is much reward to be found. Unparalleled natural experimentation is at your fingertips. We've ruined nature back east. Its growth is stunted. A mere domesticated version of its former self. Magic doesn't flow as freely as it should. Animals learn to approach humanity, but the average civilized man isn't a hunter. The very wildlife, like the civilized man, has grown fat and lazy. Sounds good? Excellent. Excellent. I'm gonna turn down the background music just to I can't turn it down anymore without muting it. That's okay. We're good. Or we should be good. Okay. Like I said, I'm going through like 7 different tabs, just trying to like make sure I'm not destroying something. Okay. Bold words for a priest. Acolyte Thomas continues hiking up the mountainside, while the words of his teacher play in his mind. The acolyte's deep blue robe stands out, a religious cloth that isn't designed for braving the frontier. If Thomas were being honest, the same could be said for the man himself. Born to a wealthy family, brought up nice and proper, no needing to get his own hands dirty. A trail of blood, a wagon set upon. The acolyte's transport sits a crushed mess of wood and white canvas. Its horses, 2 of them, rest eternally, forever tied to the man-made contraption, their eyes bulging in a lifeless stare, tongues loosely spilling from within their mouths. If one were to look inside the shattered wagon underneath the canvas cover, they'd find human bodies. With the same look of shock, a death realized and displayed on their faces at the last moment of life. Bodies dressed in the same deep blue robes that Acolyte Thomas currently wears. Gosh dang. Heavy. Good golly. Okay. It's a place of tremendous evil, yet that in itself brings the opportunity to shine light, just like me. The natives do not know God. The settlers turn their backs on him. It's a place where mercy is abandoned and faith is forgotten. If we do not shine light in the darkness, then no one will. The burden falls to us. I'm not sure of the theology of that statement, but I won't get into it now. Let's just continue. Thomas's teacher had the tendency to turn nearly every lecture into a sermon. As he hikes, the acolyte raises a palm to the sky. White light glows softly from his palm. Holy magic. It couldn't save the others, not their physical bodies at least. Save the acolyte's soul, however. It continues to save his soul. Should I do this? Will that help, like, where I'm at? Or, like, is that just distracting? It may distract me. I don't know. Above him, the sky darkens. Clouds roll in, covering the sun completely. The acolyte continues in a constant shade, the chill from lack of sunlight rolling in. A stray branch catches itself on his robe, tearing a piece of blue cloth along the acolyte's path. The journey back will not be easy. The nearest city, West Haven, is still many miles away. Still, though, the acolyte can make it there by foot in 2, maybe 3 days. I'll maybe just do it on the start of the paragraph, just so you can read along if you need to. As the acolyte trudges forward, he notices the land around him displays signs of a wildfire. Blackened dirt and trees line his path, the latter boasting leafless, jagged branches stemming from black trunks. And suddenly, Thomas is aware of the silence. Save are his footsteps. Gone are the background sounds of the wildlife. Wind rustling through the trees. Oh, hold on, I got that. Yeah. Yes. Do I have regular footsteps? No, I got footsteps and spurs, though. We're just gonna go with that. I'm gonna keep the wind sound on. Let's see. A chill runs down the acolyte's neck. The sun seems to have buried itself deeper behind the clouds. The trail leads him further up. With a sigh, the acolyte continues climbing, fearful, with no other option presented. Okay, we're in the city now. I'm gonna turn off the wind. There we go. Ahem. The streets of West Haven are cobbled and terribly done. Bits of stone rise further up than its neighbors, making any sort of cart traveling atop a bumpy ride. Wagon wheels don't slide smoothly down the street. Rather, wheels tend to crash down on the uneven cobbled street, and any weakened wheels are quickly discovered in the form of splintered wood and an unhappy owner. Tonight, the streets are mostly empty. A thin layer of rainfall flows in between West Haven's streets, tiny rivers running downhill. Gas-lit lamps, like me, line the sides. Not a great source, but better than stumbling in the dark. You're certain it's only a matter of time until Mage Light replaces the traditional lamps. But that takes resources. Resources not even those prominent city of the frontier can boast. Yeah, I'm somewhere in between the, traditional lamps and the Mage Light. It's hard to explain. Anyway, back to the story. It's in West Haven where you find yourself. Though it may be surrounded by walls, steel-plated walls at that, painted black, the inside is anything but safe. Sure, it offers protection against the natives. Sure, there aren't any untamed beasts of the frontier mauling settlers within West Haven. Confine enough people into an enclosed space, you'll find yourself with different sorts of problems, but still considered as such. Standing on a balcony overlooking the cobbled streets, you flick a match against the doorframe and light up. Frontier tobacco assaults your tongue in a burst of flavor and smoke. Do I have anything for that? Hold on. I thought I had something cool for that. No. Dang it. I thought I had, like, lighting a pipe, but that's okay. There are few things as enjoyable as the first breath of a freshly lit smoke, and in this life, time passes by quickly. Here one moment, gone the next. I keep getting texted. Hold on. My bad. Turn my phone to vibrate. Okay, here I am. Alive one day, dead the next. Holy men preach against such things. The smoke, the drink, the gambling. Don't even get them started on the women. If they stepped out from behind the pulpit, they'd need a way to cope too. No judgments on your part. It's simply the way things are. Rain falls just out of reach. From the overhang protecting the balcony in long, dark streaks. Larger droplets collect at the overhang's edge. The runoff creating small, consistent waterfalls on either side of you. Through the dark of night, you can barely make out the features below, and the lamps don't help. If anything, their light ruins your ability to adjust to the darkness. People, shadowy and formless, hurriedly rush from one side of the street to the other, doing their best to cover themselves from the rain. You found yourself a brief respite from the chaos. In your experience, they don't last long. It looks like we're switching perspectives again. The acolyte stumbles up upon a series of stone steps. His journey takes him upward through the blackened trees. There, the wind picks up in howling gales. Off in the distance, thunderclouds rumble across the skyline. Hold on. Yeah. Rain already showering upon the horizon to the west. Nighttime. Acolyte Thomas, not accustomed to finding shelter in the wilderness, looks for a cave, overhang, anything that would protect him from the eventual downpour. Instead, he finds a series of stone steps, man-made. Like the surrounding trees, they're black, like most things are starting to become. The sun left its hiding place behind the clouds, abandoning it for another hidden position under the horizon. The stone steps weren't placed by accident. Perhaps man-made shelter lies at the top, and so the acolyte alters his course to climb the steps. Each one is placed evenly apart. The top sanded as smooth as the flat of a blade. Acolyte Thomas silently wonders what's at the top. It's likely a monastery, a group of monks wanting to hide from society to worship their god. Thomas could never do that. Although there's no questioning his faith, he much prefers the hustle of the city, the resources it brings. The monks would give him warm food and bed before sending him off in the morning. Works for Thomas. He has no desire to be in the company of such fanatics for longer than necessary. The steps wane, and the acolyte hits a set of switchbacks. Sighing, he presses on. If he knew what awaited him at the top, Acolyte Thomas would retract the gratitude offered to God for allowing him to survive the wagon massacre. No loving God would allow one of his faithful to stumble into what the Acolyte was about to discover. Again, dubious theology on that one, but we continue. Let me get some water, actually. The smoke. Nothing but an ash-tip stump. You flick it from between your fingers off the balcony. Next to you, the bottle of whiskey that's been your company for the evening is looking low. Dangerously low. The deep brown line of liquid is sitting just underneath the bottom of the label. 2, maybe 3 light shots are left. It's not enough. You head back into the hotel room, shutting the balcony doors behind you. The room is simple, a small bed in one corner framed by small end tables. A writing desk rests unused in the opposite corner. Not a very, literate man, perhaps. Not me, of course. I'm very literate, as you can tell by me constantly stumbling over every word. Once upon a time, dealing in ink might have piqued your interest. No longer. Nowadays, you deal in lead. There was probably lead in that ink. But anyway, details. Throwing on a dark coat. Very literate, am I? Throwing on a dark coat that reaches to the top of your boots. You grab your hat, strap on your gun belt, and exit the room. Voices of patrons echo down the hallway. Hotel guests who have since taken their party upstairs rather than spending their time at the first floor saloon. I read that extremely poorly. Hotel guests who have since taken their party upstairs rather than spending their time at the first floor saloon. Always one for convenience, you take the single staircase down to ground level. Noticing the hotel's wallpaper is discoloring near the bottom. Your mind is a blur, affected by the drink and smoke. If you were to pull iron tonight, you know it'll take more than one pull of the trigger to hit your target. Good thing the chamber holds 6. Practical man. Downstairs, the saloon is alive. The bar is crowded. Every stool occupied with both lonely drinkers deep in thought and city slickers looking for a good time. The center of the room holds poker tables, blackjack, hold'em, you name it. You disregard the games and head straight for the bar, squeezing yourself between 2 stools. You catch the bartender's eyes, a stout man with a thick mustache and sporting a stained apron. You flash 2 fingers and place a few crumpled dollars on the bar top. Nodding, the bartender places a pair of shot glasses in front of you and reaches for an unmarked bottle of whiskey. House brew. You toss the first back and then reach inside your coat to light another smoke. The hand-rolled cigarette at the corner of your lips. You clutch the other shot glass in your palm and turn, leaning your weight against the bar while surveying the saloon. No busty waitress comes up to you. That's good, I'm a taken man. No hoe has you in her line of sight. There's just the smoke, the drink, and no one else. Like dealing in ink, once upon a time things were different. She would have been by your side, smiles on both your faces. At this point you're unsure if that image is a memory or a dream, perhaps a mixture of the two. There's one thing it's not, however, and that's reality. You take the second shot. Switching perspective again. They sensed his presence immediately. Not that Acolyte Thomas was attempting to hide his approach. At the top of the switchbacks, they turned on him like a shark smelling blood in the water, a vulture hearing the nails of crucifixion hammered. What Acolyte Thomas discovered at the top of the mountain was worse than the death his brethren suffered. He tried to run. Lord knows how he screamed at the top of his lungs until the air left them, never to return again. There was no divine intervention. There was no one there to save him. They tore him apart piece by piece while consciousness still occupied his mind. He had multiple, apparently. His innards were ripped to his body. Oh, I'm not reading that, jeez. Piece by piece, organ by organ, slowly while he watched and screamed. Then, mercifully, shock overtook his mind. It numbed his senses far greater than the shots of whiskey you tossed back during the exact moment miles away. Blackness overtook his vision, mercifully finally appearing. Acolyte Thomas slipped into the void, never to awaken again. Your mind would find darkness an hour later, only in your case, unmercifully, as you discover in the morning. Dang. It's heavy. Gracious. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Give me a sec. One moment. Un momento, please. This one's so long. It's so long. Let me look at the other one. Okay. This one is a lot less heavy, I think. I think we're going to go with this one. It's called The Bard's Tale by Pug Pup 1. I think we're going to go with this one. I think Gunslinger's a little it might be a little too long. It's going to absolutely kill me. And I don't know what other content is in it. Anyway, we're going to switch over. We're just going to switch gears. Give me a sec to change the music a little bit. Let's see here. See if this music is good. Yeah, let's go with this. Okay. Sorry for the confusion. I didn't properly read the length of that. That's my bad. Let me see. I don't know what sound effects we're gonna need. But this sounds like really good music for a Bard's Tale. I'm gonna unblur now. Okay, this is we're switching gears here. This is The Bard's Tale by Pug Pup 1. So sorry. Okay. We are going to do this one. Full screen, please. Oh, this one has pictures. Very, very nice. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. All right. Oh, goodness me. Oh, man, I've already been streaming for an hour. This is fun. Okay. Is there anything that needs adjustment before I go? I realize only now that reading the chat is very difficult with how white the background is here. What if I did that? Ooh, that's so much better. That's so much better. Okay. Okay. I don't think that messed anything up. Okay. Now then, I'm going to switch gears, and let's get started with The Bard's Tale by, as I said, Pug Pup 1 on ChooseYourStory.com. All rights to their intended owners. Few sights are as cheery as the warm light of an inn on a moonless night, especially when the winds are coming strong from the north and biting at your skin with icy teeth. You plod straight through the muck and dirty puddles, eager to rest before another day of wearying travel. The oaken door is heavy, but a mountain could not stop you, this close to warmth. Okay. Do we need a mountain? Let's see here. Let's see what we got here. Sorry, it takes a minute for my for the sound pad to load. Also, once again, proper attribution. The background music is from a website called Tabletop Audio. It is free use type stuff. All rights to their intended owners. Check it out. It's incredible. Very useful. I use it myself when I play tabletop RPGs and such. And all of the sound effects are also from the same website. So go check out Tabletop Audio, please. It is fantastic. Okay. We're going to do Tundra Wind. Okay, that's for the first paragraph. Now then, I think we need, we'll go with the tavern, maybe? We'll go with that for now. Everything look good? Everything look okay? Okay, we're going to go with fireplace. Wind outside. Yes. And tavern door. Let's go. Yeah. You are not disappointed. The inn is crowded with people of every shape and size. Farmers from the nearby village mix with black-robed monks from the abbey. Children dart here and there, laughing at the drunk and sodden men that lie senseless in their ale. A handful of scraggly travelers warm themselves by the enormous fire, swapping rumors and tearing into black bread. You take a seat alongside them, nodding a welcome, but with eyes only for the flames. Only after you can once again feel your hands and feet does your hunger return. The barman is a squat fellow, red-bearded and seemingly fond of shouting. He takes your coins and shoves a bowl of thick stew towards you. "Welcome," he shouts, "to the Red Lion." Nice. The man to your left strikes up a conversation about your destination, and soon the two of you are chatting away while you forget the miles ahead tomorrow. Suddenly, the room goes silent. No small feat. Even the barman has ceased bellowing it to his sons. All eyes are fixed upon the bard who has just stood, lute in hand, on a central table. He is a curious, almost comical figure, with arms and legs just slightly too long for his body and a shock of white hair that cascades down his shoulders like a waterfall. His voice, however, is low and clear, and it is not hard to see why all await the performance so eagerly. The bard strums a few notes, coughs twice, and begins his tale. I thought I had something for that, but that's okay. 100 years ago or more, when good King Freylof did rule, the realm knew peace and never war. His son, the prince, was never cruel. The worthy son, Prince Reginald, he had a daughter too, a jewel. The Lady Jane, but 12 years old. Our prince did love his sister sweet. Their bond was joyous to behold. But danger came on swiftest feet from that old fiend, that devilish man, Cantifrax, the lord of heat, whose crimes, if I the list began, would stretch from here right to the moon. The demons of the fiery clan all paid him homage, danced his tune. He summoned flames with just a wink, brighter than the sun at noon. Upon a plan the mage did think to win the power he'd long sought. From spells in books with fading ink, the scheme was this: send demons hot to steal the Lady Jane away, and bind her with a fiendish knot, and cast her in a pit to rot. Fiendish knot sounds delightful. Let's go with this. Then Cantifrax would raise his knife of purest silver o'er the maid to cut away her royal life. Then with the blood spilled from the blade, he'd call upon a fiend most great and make a most unholy trade. The lady's soul he'd give with hate, and in return dominion gain. He would rule, 'twould be his fate, and so the wizard sought poor Jane. By sending out a demon slave, a minotaur who with a chain did drag her to a far-off cave. Next morn when Reginald awoke, he knew his sister he must save. The prince picked up his sword and cloak and rode off from his castle home, but coming to a dead old oak, he knew he could no longer roam. Must choose to go the left or right, down dusty roads found in no tome. if for his sister he would fight. Prince Reginald then chose the path, let's see, that led to mountains of great height or into the swamps of endless night. I'm thinking, let me cue it up again. I'm thinking mountain. Let's go to mountain of great height. We're gonna get that going. We're gonna get tundra winds. Okay, that led to mountains of great height. The prince rode along the road, as ever taller grew the heights, and in his earnest never slowed. Through darkness still shone the lights of moon and stars arrayed above our guardian atop the nights. All nights, my bad. So driven on by heartfelt love, Prince Reginald did spy a cave, and fearless of danger thereof, made for this dark and gloomy grave. Hold on, I've got cave. I've got a cave. There we go. Cave. Let's get some Ice Creek. Yes. Okay. Dear listener, you've guessed it true. The Lady Jane and Mage's slave lay waiting in this cavern too. The prince approached the hellish maw and rode in crying, "Hugh!" The Minotaur struck forth a claw and bellowed out his fearful rage. But Reginald did charge and draw, or the prince sought to exploit this flaw. I think Prince Reginald is a strong man, but intelligent. We'll do the prince sought to exploit this flaw. So while the beast roared loud as hell, he drove between its filthy feet, and just beside the princess fell. He cut her chains, no easy treat. While Minotaurs looming near, prepared to cut you to meat. With Jane set free, he felt no fear and turned to face the hairy thing that stared straight with a manic leer, their blades connecting with a ding. I don't have anything for that, but I have this. Yes, that'd be the that's the monster. Resounding to the farthest shore, but neither foe had strength to bring his enemies to Hades' door, until the Lady Jane stepped in, and picking up a chain she'd wore, in desperation helped her kin, by throwing it against the beast, a steely bolt to end his grin. Now seeing that his foe had ceased to fight because the chain had struck, Prince Reginald attacks increased. The Minotaur had lost his luck. The prince lopped off his ugly head and tossed it down to join the muck. The prince and princess both embraced. They wept to see themselves alive. And made for home with utmost haste, and for the coming night they braced. I think with the night ahead in this cold land, they would brace for the night. To ride by night would be indeed a folly, so they did decide to wait for morning to proceed. Through hours long the royals tried to reach the gentle shore of sleep and float with ease upon its tide. But inky night could not long keep the sun from rising in the sky, so from the cave down pathways steep the horse and riders quick did fly, towards the castle, refuge from the terrors lurking ever nigh. The king was downcast, sitting glum, when through the door his children came. His son and daughter beat the drum, and let the trumpets sing their fame, for deeds of valor rarely seen by noble knight or cultured dame. Now closer, friend, I beg you lean, to hear the moral of my song. The old who mock the young as green are doing them a mighty wrong, for my tale has surely shown, in heart the young have valor strong, and so the bard ends his tale. Ahem. The bard bows low before disappearing from view, a flagon of ale in one hand with his lute in the other. The reaction is certainly mixed, clapping and cheers mixed with scattered grumblings about upstart musicians. Quickly the inn descends into full argument on all sides. The old farmers shake their heads at the protestations of their sons, while several novice monks begin to shout at their stooped and wizened fellow. Even the barman has joined in, lecturing his little servants on the virtues of obedience. You watch with amusement before being accosted on either side, both young and old eager to criticize your flippancy. I shall be right back. Nature calls. You know, I have a an intermission screen that I can put up whenever I leave for any reason while I'm still streaming. But like a fool, I did not think about that. Anyway, so sorry. After a few hours of increasingly drunk argumentation, you roar several choice oaths and find a room upstairs. The bard was right, you decide, before drifting off to sing the praise of Prince Reginald and Lady Jane. What connection they have to the boisterous young pups downstairs, you don't know. But it was a fine tale all the same. Yes, I agree. A fine tale. Let's all give a round of applause to Pug Pup 1. Thank you for your beautiful little story. Yes. I'm thinking I'll do one more. But we're going to make sure it's pretty short. So let me filter myself again. There we go. We're going to do fantasy, of course. Let's see here. Do it by length. Let's see. This one looks promising. Hold on. Yeah. Behemoth, a fantasy story game by some random person. Thank you, some random person. A very simple game that's really just an excuse to play around with variables and stuff. You play as a generic RPG hero trying to face the behemoth. That sounds pretty cool. Let's do that. We're gonna do that. Oh, okay. We got stats down here. Okay. All right then. Hello, adventurer. It seems that some random village has been beset by that big ol' beastie pictured over there. Cute, isn't he? Adorable. Of course, being the hero that you are, it's obviously your duty to fight it. So what are you waiting for? First off, you'll have to select your job. Your job affects the ability you have. Well, I'm a scholar now. And very much avoid physical combat where I can. However, in my boisterous younger days, I was quite the warrior. So I'm going to go with what I know and choose warrior. Excellent choice. You charge off to beat up the behemoth. Okay. I would like an explanation of the variables. Your health as well. How much health you have. I'm sensing some sass from some random person here. If it drops below 0, it's game over. Don't worry, it's not going to stay at 1. Since different jobs will have different amounts of health, you'll get the rest of your health after you click the link to begin the fight. Okay. The variable entitled Behemoth is how much health your foe has. You want to drop this to 0. Fair enough. Mana is required to use certain skills. Once it drops to 0, well, it's not game over, but you won't be able to use some skills. Once again, you'll get the rest of your mana after you begin the fight. Your drive meter will raise as you perform actions. Once it reaches 10, you will be able to perform an overdrive attack. The overdrive varies with each job. Okay. All very simple. Let me get a drink of water. Begin the fight. Sword in hand, you stand by in a ready stance. The behemoth growls. Slash it with your sword. Very simple. Very straightforward. You attack the behemoth. It swings a massive claw at you. Ouch. We keep on fighting. Oh, that did hurt. Sword in hand, you stand in right. Okay. I guess I'll use some of my mana to do a dual strike. You leap forward, slashing twice at the behemoth. The behemoth counters with a mighty blow. Big ouch to me. However, I did a ton of... Look at that damage. I'm going to slash it with my sword. It's the same thing. Alright. I'll use my other mana. That did not do as much damage as I hoped. I'm getting slaughtered here. Okay. I could be doing better. I'm out of mana, though. I have a potion, in case. Oh, okay, okay. Ooh. Ooh, he hit me a lot. Ooh, okay. Well. Oh, I hit it. Potion. Potion time. Use item. Yes. Fight on, warrior. Okay. This time I can do it. Okay. Maybe I can't do it. It's a race against time. This will be a Pyrrhic victory if I win. Warrior overdrive. Oh, I can use my overdrive now. Okay. Oh! The great beast staggers and collapses onto the ground. You are victorious. The village is very grateful for your help, but without you, they all surely would have perished. However, their gratefulness apparently doesn't mean you'll get a discount at any of the shops or at the inn. Oh well. C'est la vie. At least you won. Well. Not the best, but certainly not the worst. Sure. No thanks. Well, that was a lot shorter than I thought. But that's okay. It was, interesting, to say the least. Thank you, some random person. I appreciate your work on Behemoth. Anyway. I think, for now, that will do. I don't want to overstay my welcome. We're going to go back to my my cafe, the Laughing Lampwick, as I should have mentioned before. But anyway, yeah, thank you so much for coming in. I hope that I have been able to bring a little bit of light into the dark night for you this evening. I hope you've enjoyed whatever hot beverage you chose at the beginning, or just water. Hydration is good. As for the next stream, I may do something similar to this, or I may play a game. I'm not sure. I would like to play a game. The next stream will probably be a week from now on Wednesday, the same as this one. That is when I have time generally to do it, and it will probably be a little bit longer if I am playing a game. However, like I said, I don't want to overstay my welcome, and that's about all I have to say, I think. I look forward to getting to know everyone a little bit more, and I hope that out in the dark night, while you may walk through it alone or with another by your side, know that there are havens, there are places that you can go to escape the dark, to escape loneliness every now and then, and I pray that the Laughing Lampwick will be one of those places for you. So, thank you so much for coming in. It seems like the dawn is breaking, and I have to go. I bid you all adieu. This is Dr. Lampwick signing off, and I hope that you all have a lovely evening. Chase the dark away, my friends. Goodbye.